Hi, I'm Jason Debly, and I'm totally incompetent when it comes to using software and computers and cameras. Normally I have my iPhone or my old Samsung and there's an app on it to control my Canon camera, but I gave it to my daughter and I swiped it clean first, and when I loaded the new app on my iPhone I can't seem to control the camera, so I have to manually turn it on and then come around the table and sit here and do a whiskey review for you. Excuse me, I'm not slick, don't know video editing, haven't figured out how to put music coming in at the beginning. Wish I could. There's a lot of guys that do whiskey reviews that are really slick and impressive. I'm just not one of those guys. What can I tell you? Tonight's whiskey review is a Canadian whiskey, a rye whiskey called Lot Number 40. So Lot 40 was launched in the 90s, I'm thinking like 1998, and then in the 2000s it was discontinued for a bit, wasn't very popular, and the critics and the whiskey aficionados think that it was a little ahead of its time. How is this whiskey ahead of its time? It's a very bold rye whiskey. It's 100% rye. Originally when it was first released it was 90% unmalted barley or unmalted rye with 10% malted rye, and since then I am told that it's the mash bill is 100% unmalted rye. Although I always think you need a little bit of malted rye in order to get fermentation going. But anyway, that's what I'm told. 43% alcohol by volume, 750 milliliter format. Cork stopper, moderately priced in Canada, I think around $37. It is available in the United States. And interestingly on the labeling, they don't mention that it's Canadian whiskey, but it is. It's made at the Hiram Distillery, distributed by a company called Corby, or actually Corby and Spirit and Wine Limited. Okay, let's check this out. So, 100% Rye Mash Bill. Guess what? On the nose, lots of rye. I'm thinking, dry, crusty rye bread, German, sourdough. Wouldn't call it floral. Pretty bold, but nice. The nose on this is nice. On the palate, it's a powerful, very rye-forward spirit. Sour rye bread. Think of a sourdough. Obviously you get rye, cardamom. I think a lot about bread when I have this. Bruised tangerines. The finish is long, kind of a green lemongrass bitterness, but in a good way. It's almost medicinal on the finish. It's spicy. I should say a word about the oak. The wood management is virgin oak. With a heavy char, and you taste it, again in a good way. If you like rye, you like bold rye flavor, you like rye bread, you're going to like Lot Number 40. If you like something gentler, if you prefer American ryes, which generally are gentler, there are some exceptions, but if you like a softer mash bill with some corn mixed in, American rye whiskeys, or that have a lot of rye in their mash bill, might only be as much as 51%. Here you're dealing with 100% rye. It's won a lot of awards, but I think it's a whiskey that you're going to like it or hate it. There's no in between. For me, it's when I'm in the mood for it. I'm not always in the mood for it. I would not drink this whiskey if I've had a spicy meal beforehand. I find that if I have some like curried food, like Indian food, and there's a lot of people from India that watch this channel, if you're having spicy Indian food, I just don't think this is the whiskey to accompany it or follow it, because your palate's quite roughened up by those spices, and this will taste much more acidic. Have something very bland, or maybe 3 or 4 hours following your curry meal, try some lot number 40. Cheers. Thank you for your time, and thank you for your patience with my lack of technological skill. Take care.